We've since been joined by the governorship candidate of APGA in Enugu State, a former minister, Mr. Frank Nweke Jr. Mr. Nweke, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I need to take a permission from the NBA president because, you know, virtually these days you never can tell what could happen with the connection. Please, I'll come back for your final thought on the program, but let me deal with the business of Enugu governance and the task of electing the next governor of the state. Mr. Nweke, it's good to see you. For someone who has been in the PDP, who perhaps, for some people said you ran away from politics for a long time, and now you are back. You came to APGA. Now we see Obidients around some of the southeast region that are that are campaigning for you. What a twist that is being. Does this give you any chance ahead of Saturday?
Thank you, Sean. It's good to see you. First of all, I need to correct the way you call that party. You said APGA. No, that's not what we call it here. We call it APGA.
APGA.
That's the way that our...
Oh, there. I hope what I thought is happening in your area has not just happened. Power outage, is it? I guess that's what happened. All right, maybe I should give you a moment for that to be resolved, is it?
Give me a moment.
All right, I'll give you a moment. Let me just come to the NBA president to sort of give us your final thought on the way to go in this governorship election. If truly and truly everything must be done and done well to make this 2023 election meet expectations of Nigerians, not only on INEC, security is also one thing, and the citizenry, the voters are on one hand. What should we be looking out for on Saturday?
Well, number one, I talked about the need for us to encourage ourselves to come out and express our franchise. Number two, we've talked about INEC. INEC should, from the lessons learned in the last election, should deploy on time. All the things that are necessary to elicit the confidence of the public should be done, and should be done in such a way that it will persuade the public that, yes, that was actually done. It is very important. In the terms of security, there is also need for security to be provided around the people that are coming to express their franchise. We saw instances of harassment. People were, I mean, that was the case of the lady that was stabbed in Lagos, you know, and she still was as courageous to come back and vote. I commend her courage, and I mean, you don't have to be stabbed to express that kind of courage, but you can demonstrate that same courage in spite of what you feel.
Staying on cue, ensuring that the results are being captured and transmitted and all of that.
And transmitted, it should stay. I mean, INEC should do some things for the elderly. I mean, I went to polling units, you know, guide those elderly, make them comfortable, let them have the opportunity to vote first and all. And the police, I'm happy with what the Inspector General of Police has done from the clips that we watched here, the deployments that he has done and the instructions that he has given, movement restrictions. We've seen compliance in that respect in the last election. We expect to see that same level of
Just a moment, sir.
Yeah.
I understand that Mr. Nweke has since rejoined us. I mean, he's been with us, but what has been happening since I was born happened around him. That is power outage. Perhaps one of the things that anybody who wants to be in government needs to also be looking at fixing permanently. I mean, that should even be one of our problems in this age and time when the world is looking at some other problems. But in any case, I was asking you whether APGA, your party, and the fact that Obidients around your region are also talking about you. What a twist. You are a former minister under a PDP government. What are your chances? Does any of this scenario give you any hope of winning the election on Saturday?
Well, thank you so much, Shem. It's good to see you again. Absolutely. Well, for me, I believe that the Obedient movement, you know, that we must look at it in the context of the philosophy of the Obedient movement. I think the Obedient movement, they are focused on capacity, they are focused on competence, they are focused on character, they are focused on commitment and passion. And I'm deeply honored to have their support. And I really believe that in the context of where we are today as a country, when we look at the critical challenges that confront us, whether it's at the national level, whether it's at the global level, whether it's at the state level, or even at the local government level, I think that it's about time that we became focused on individuals who come to the party prepared through their careers, who have the education, who have the exposure, who have the capacity, who have the competence, who have the character. And I mean, Seun, well, you've known me, we've known each other through the years, and hopefully you would share the views of the Obidient movement that in terms of the people who are running for governor today in Enugu, that any which way you want to look at it, whether it's from my time as a consultant to government on economic affairs in my early years in public service, to my time as state coordinator of the Community County Council, to my time as chief of staff, government house, to my time as federal minister of intergovernmental affairs and special duties, then as minister for youth development, and then later as Minister for Information and National Orientation, and the last but not the least, but as Minister for Information and Communication, or to my time as Director General of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, or to my duties as a Senior Visiting Fellow at the Lagos Business School, as a member of the faculty of the School of Politics, Policies and Governance, or to my work as Associate Professor at Gregory University, Uturu. I believe that there's no other candidate that brings this stellar background to the party. And so I believe that I'm the most prepared, I'm well positioned. And then the support of the Obidients, actually, I think is most welcome.
Do you wish, Frank, do you wish you were in Labour Party? The kind of support you are getting from the Obidients is ironic, isn't it? They've been supporting Labour Party. But do you wish you were in Labour Party with this support that they're giving you?
No, well, for me, for me, I really believe that, I don't know how to put this, but I really think that one is, I believe I'm where I'm supposed to be. And thankfully, the entire thing is anchored on just individuals, who have the capacity, the competence, and the character, and not parties. How well have these parties served us? Look at our country today, for instance. Just look at our country, look at where we are, look at how divided we have become, look at the level of insecurity, just look at the state of our economy, look at the state of our currency, look at the state of the entire country. It's just terrible. So, and yet here we are, in saner times. Some of these people should not even show up. A party should not even show up in the first place. So, here we are.
Let me ask you pointedly. Yes. Why do you think the people of Enugu State should look in your direction and vote for you? What are you going to be doing differently?
Thank you so much. Well, the reason why the Enugu should look in my direction is this. One is that I've come to the table very well prepared. I understand state administration, I understand federal administration, I have the exposure, but more importantly, I am bringing leadership qualities that are unmatched, Number two is that my record of service is untainted, is unimpeachable. This is clear. And I believe that everyone should have opportunity to speak for themselves, but this record of service can be verified independently and for us to see. The last but not the least is the fact that every opportunity I've had, whether it's at the state level, whether it's at the national level, I have brought my best efforts to bear. I have discharged my mandate or my work with responsibility, with passion, and with results. So, and I think that experience matters, especially the right experience, when this experience is coming from the right people who have the track record, people who have the discipline, people who have the fear of God. That is really what it is.
All right.
So the people of this they won't be burdened with any kind of scandals or fear that anything can happen or in the course of the government. No. And this is something I believe everybody should be mindful of.